So, we all know the story about Superman, where nice young American family in Smallville, Kansas, finds a little boy, in their farm or, whatever. And they raise him up to be a good, outstanding human being, and they find out he has powers and he, turns into a good person. Well, what if that superhuman just decides to go the other way? And that's basically what Brightburn is all about. Hey, it's your boy D here with the Geek Experience, and today we're going to talk about Brightburn. So, just to give you a warning, we're going to have some spoilers here. I'm not going to give too much away, but in order to do this review, I have to talk about a few aspects here. So anyway, like I said, this is what this movie's about. We have Ma and Pa Breyer, uh, played by Elizabeth Banks and David Dunham, or whatever his name is. And so they're, cut up outstanding American folks in Nowheresville, Kansas. And sure enough, they're trying to have a baby, and lo and behold, something lands in their, in their farm, barn, whatever. And it's a young human being. And so they take this young man, they raise him up to be an outstanding young kid, and then on his 12th birthday, something happens to where he decides he doesn't want to be a good kid anymore. And pretty much after that, it pretty much goes downhill. The kid realizes he's indestructible, has superpowers, but at the same time, he has a bit of a mean streak. If, somebody basically pisses him off, it doesn't end well for them. And the parents, begin to figure out that their kid is changing, he starts to rebel a little bit, and they're thinking, it's puberty, and then they're realizing it's something much more, to the point to where they're realizing this kid is out of control. That's pretty much the most of it. Movie's pretty straightforward. It's marketed as a horror film. I didn't find the movie too scary. When he attacks people, it turns out with, gruesome results, so you're going to see some graphic things here. The movie wasn't all that bad. I had some minor issues with the movie, and they were two pretty much big. I would say two points in the movie. One, this was a lower budget movie. I think it was made for less than $10 million, which is perfectly fine. But it definitely gave that feeling, and not so much with the CGI, but a little bit with the camera work. It looks like they were, maybe using some new cameramen or whatever, because there were times where the camera was going all over the place. And not, the shaky cam, I can live with that. But it was more along the lines where, the camera should be on the two people, but it kept just jerking all around. As like the cameraman was on a unstable platform or something. Also, a little bit of the editing here and there was kind of choppy, but those are minor things. My other big issue was I felt in this movie there was a few points where I would think the parents would be just a little bit more emotional as regards to their child, turning into this monster, superhero monster, if you will. One point in particular, the dad is struggling with his son becoming, so aggressive and, having his issues. And at one point in time, decides to take matters into his own hands. And I thought that should have been a little bit more of an emotional struggle for him. And, as being of a parent of, multiple children, you're always going to, love your kids no matter what to a degree. And, even though you have to do what you have to do, if, even though it's a hard choice, there's an inner struggle in there. A little bit of inner tearing apart. And we really didn't see this. It was more of a cut and dry decision. I didn't find that to be too believable because, like I said, you've raised this child since a baby. You know, you've gone through all the matters of teething and diaper changings and staying up all night in preschool and all that kind of stuff. You develop a bond with your kid. So I would have thought that should have been an emotional moment, and I thought that could have really brought out the acting tenets, the acting ability of the father there. But that didn't happen. Other than that, the movie turned out to be all right. So that's it for me. Should you go see this movie? By all means. I would recommend probably watching it when it comes on cable, something like on Sci-Fi or HBO or one of the regular basic cable channels, FX or whatnot. Uh, it's a halfway solid movie. Does it set itself up for a sequel? Not really. It kind of just ends. I would almost liken it to something like Cloverfield. Even though Cloverfield had two pretty bad sequels, it just pretty much ends. And I'm not going to give away the ending here. But like I said, it wasn't a bad movie, but I was hoping for a little other things here. And like I said, other than a little shakiness on the camera and some editing choices that I thought could have been done a little bit better, it was a solid movie. Anyway, that's it for me. But if you got to see Brightburn, tell me what you think about this movie. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you think it was silly? I thought it was just an interesting take off we have all these comic book movies where these guys get super strength and they decide to go the good route. And we also have villains as well, but a lot of times they're adults and they decide to be bad. But what if a villain decided to start off being bad when he was a kid? What if he was always bad? That was an interesting concept, and it was interesting to see. So, tell me what you think. Post it in the comments below. And if you'd like to hear more of my movie reviews, or TV episodes, or talking about WWE, or video games, or anything else, post it, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, and hopefully YouTube will let you know. We also have a Twitter account. You can follow us on Twitter, and we'll let you know when we post new videos. Anyway, that's it for me, and until next time, peace.